The Nigeria Export-Import Bank has launched the Women in Export Development Fund in Abuja. Stakeholders at the event, which is a celebration of the International Women's Day, urge women to be resilient and break systemic barriers that have held them down for far too long. They say self-development will put them in vantage position and help them exploit their businesses and other chosen careers. Ebua Uyi reports, the event aims to empower women entrepreneurs and support those in the export sector. The former Minister of Finance, Kemi Adeosun, called on the federal government to appoint a national export advisor to help drive reforms in the export sector, breaking down barriers, mitigating against the growth of exports in Nigeria, and ensuring that Nigerian goods can compete in the global market.
This economy will grow if we can harness and unleash the potentials and the opportunities that these economic reforms have provided, and think export. And think export intentionally, and go to the various arms of government that are making export cumbersome, and we need to start kicking down some walls. I go so far as to call actually on the President to name a national export advisor. We need a figurehead that will drive reforms, that will break down all the barriers to us exporting, so that our world-class goods can get to the global market.
The managing director of the Nigeria Export-Import Bank, Abba Bello, says that the initiative deepens the bank's intervention towards increasing the participation of women in the non-oil export sector.
As we mark this occasion, we commit further to deepening our interventions to increase the participation of women in the non-oil export sector. So, today, it is in this regard that we present another flagship product. It is called the Women in Export Development Fund. It will project women-owned businesses to serve as a role model for the younger generation.
Also, the Executive Director of Business Development at NEXIM Bank adds that the funds will help women and young people overcome financial barriers, mitigating against their active participation in the export sector.
And as a bank, we're driving value addition for export because we believe that's the only way we can create jobs for our people. And so for the women in the grassroots, get ready. We already have businesses that we're funding, from sesame to cashew nuts to hibiscus, and women play in the entire value chain. And so you'll be expecting to see more. We're really serious to creating more jobs for women in the grassroots. And not just women, we're also encouraging young people to come into the space, because Nigeria boasts of about 70% young population. And so with that population mixing up with the women, I'm sure that Nigeria would have its fair share. It will be the giant, as we are, in AFTA, as well as export of goods from Africa.